In May 1948, the British Empire officially ended its mandate over Palestine, a territory it had controlled since the collapse of the Ottoman Empire after World War I. The British withdrawal was the culmination of years of escalating tension between Jewish Zionist militias, Arab nationalist groups, and British authorities. The British decision to pull out was formalized in February 1947, when they referred the issue of Palestine to the United Nations. The UN proposed Resolution 181 later that year, recommending the partition of Palestine into separate Jewish and Arab states. With Jerusalem under international administration, the Jewish Agency accepted the plan. Arab leaders rejected it. On May 14, 1948, one day before the British mandate expired, David Ben-Gurion declared the independence of the State of Israel. British troops completed their withdrawal shortly afterward. Immediately following the declaration, neighboring Arab states, Egypt, Transjordan, now Jordan, Syria, Lebanon, and Iraq, invaded the new state, marking the start of the 1948 Arab-Israeli War, also called the War of Independence by Israelis or Nakba catastrophe by Palestinians. Due to the mass displacement of hundreds of thousands of Palestinian Arabs, the immediate military intervention by Egypt, Transjordan, Syria, Lebanon, and Iraq following the British withdrawal in 1948 was driven by a combination of political, ideological, strategic, and pan-Arab motives. Here's a breakdown of the reasons. Arab leaders and the Arab League rejected UN Resolution 181, which proposed partitioning Palestine into Jewish and Arab states. They believed the plan was unjust, as it allocated more than half the land to the Jewish minority. Despite Arabs being the majority population at the time, the creation of a Jewish state was seen as a colonial imposition and betrayal of Palestinian Arab rights. When David Ben-Gurion declared the independence of Israel on May 14, 1948, Arab states saw this as a provocation and an irreversible step toward a Jewish state on Arab land. The invasion was framed as a rescue mission for Palestine to protect its Arab population and reverse the Zionist project. Each country had its own strategic objectives. Transjordan Jordan aimed to annex the West Bank, which it eventually did. Egypt wanted influence over southern Palestine and to block Zionist expansion. Syria, Iraq, and Lebanon sought to participate in the Arab nationalist cause and prevent Israel from establishing itself as a dominant regional power. Domestic pressures and Arab nationalism. Leaders faced pressure from their own populations to take action. Arab nationalism and solidarity with Palestinians were politically essential, especially after years of anti-colonial rhetoric. Inaction in the face of Israeli independence could have been seen as weakness or betrayal, miscalculation of strength. Many Arab leaders believed that a swift military campaign could destroy the new Israeli state before it became entrenched. They underestimated the strength and organization of the Jewish militias like the Haganah, and later the Israel Defense Forces, IDF. They also overestimated their own coordination and military effectiveness, which turned out to be disjointed and poorly planned. Comparison: 1948, Birth of Israel and the Prophecies of Ezekiel. Biblical context: Ezekiel's prophecies. Ezekiel, a prophet during the Babylonian exile, prophesied the restoration of Israel in several chapters. 1. Ezekiel 36-37. Restoration and rebirth. Ezekiel 36-24-28 describes God gathering Israel from among the nations. Ezekiel 37 contains the vision of the Valley of Dry Bones, symbolizing the revival of the nation of Israel. Many interpret Israel's 1948 founding as a literal fulfillment. Jews returning from exile to re-establish a nation. To Ezekiel 38:39, Gog and Magog War describes a future coalition of nations attacking Israel in the last days. Nations include Persia, Iran, Kush, Sudan, Put, Libya, Gomer, and Togarmah. Possibly modern Turkey. God intervenes supernaturally to defend Israel. Caveats and perspectives. Not all scholars agree on events around the Babylonian exile. Secular historians focus on colonialism, Zionism, and post-World War II geopolitics. Jewish interpretations vary. Some see 1948 as divine, others as political. Too many believers, especially Christian Zionists, the 1948 events mirror Ezekiel's vision of Israel's rebirth and protection. Others see it as a symbolic parallel or a geopolitical development, not a literal prophecy come true. In June 2025, conflict erupted between Israel and Iran, with Israel launching major airstrikes and Iran responding with missile attacks. The United States voiced strong support for Israel, while Russia criticized the strikes but did not take direct action. These events resemble parts of the biblical prophecy in Ezekiel 38-39, where Iran, referred to as Persia in Ezekiel 38-5, is listed among a group of nations that will attack Israel in the last days. However, the events look similar in some ways, especially with Iran attacking Israel, but they do not fully match Ezekiel's prophecy. There's no big alliance of nations, no divine intervention, and Israel is already a modern country, not just being restored. Some people might call this a preview or warning sign, but it's not the full Gog and Magog prophecy described in Ezekiel.
All right, this is Finkel and Finkel's voice here. I put this together with stuff from Ezekiel, Old Testament, stuff from that bullshit chapters, Revelations, or the Revelation of John, New Testament. I used AI, both ChatGPT and what is that called? CapCut. Yeah, ChatGPT and CapCut. And ChatGPT is not very helpful. This is like the fourth or fifth attempt at a thumbnail. The idea of the thumbnail is to capture audience's attention. And wow, that map, there's a lot with that map. Israel shows as Egypt, the Sinai Peninsula. The United States shows as where Sudan is. Turkey, and what's that? Yugoslavia. They got maps like Iran. So I apologize. I reached out to ChatGPT and CapCut because my editing skill sucks. But this is just a good example of you can't really depend on. I'm sorry. Israel isn't just Egypt, Ethiopia, Sinai Peninsula. It's also Greece and Crete. but a lot of YouTube audiences wouldn't realize that. They wouldn't put all that together. Even the misspelling of Israel. So everything before this thumbnail came up has been checked and double checked. It's pretty accurate as far as we can tell. Now, when you compare Bible prophecy to current events, there's a lot of room for error or misunderstanding. Quite frankly, we thought the world was going to end in 1988. The quote, one generation after the creation of Israel, with biblical generation being 40 years. If you look at your calendar, you know that we've long since passed 1988. We've long since passed, what were the other ends of... I'm immortal because I survived 88, I survived 2000, I survived 2011, and 2012. Are we going to survive this one? Hell, I don't know, but I really don't put a lot of stock into. There's one Bible prophecy that I do take full stock in, and that is, "No man knoweth the hour. I come as a thief in the night." So anyone who tells you this is it or this isn't it, they don't know. No man knoweth the hour. Uh, I mean, if there's any truth of biblical prophecy, you got to listen to that one. We don't know. It's going to happen when we're least expecting it, if it's even according to what the Bible told us. I think Trump's going to get us all fucked, but we'll see. We shall see.